At 12:30 a.m. on August 4th, the Vantage Cruise ship, the River Odyssey, was out of control on the Danube River and eventually collided with the shoreline. No one was apparently steering the ship for a 20-minute period of time. These pictures show the bridge of that ship during the daylight hours. The ship drifted to the left of the navigation channel across the oncoming barge traffic. These are examples of the kind of barge traffic on the Danube that the ship was facing. Fortunately, it did not collide with any barges. Had a collision occurred with a barge, the ship would have probably sunk in about 40 feet of water, with a loss of life that would have been substantial. The ship continued to drift to the left. It left the navigation channel and eventually ran hard aground at the shoreline. Fortunately, the bottom was soft at the point where the ship collided with the shoreline and no major damage occurred. If the ship had run aground about an hour earlier, it would have been on a rocky shoreline. The ship would probably have been holed and potentially sunk with a loss of life. This is a picture from the bow after the ship ran aground. The lights in front are a cottage approximately 150 feet from the bow where we came to a stop. This is a bow spotlight shining on the trees at the shoreline, showing how close the ship was to the shore when it came to rest. This is a view to the rear, showing how close the rear of the ship was to the shore. These pictures show the water being churned up as the captain attempted to use both the bow and stern thrusters to free the ship. Since the ship ran aground at full speed, the thrusters did not have enough force to be able to free the ship. After about 45 minutes, the captain gave up the efforts with the thrusters and hailed a passing barge. This barge attached a line to the rear of the ship and attempted to pull us off the ground to the rear. This is a view of the bow spotlight on the trees as the barge attempts to pull us to the rear. You will see that the spotlight gradually begins to move across the trees as we are slowly pulled off of the bottom by the barge. Once the barge freed us from the shoreline, it gradually moved away, and the River Odyssey was able to continue its trip. After the cruise completed, the River Odyssey went into emergency dry dock, and subsequent cruises were canceled while repairs were made to the ship. I have been in communication with Harry Lewis, the CEO of Vantage, inquiring as to what actions he will take to prevent future occurrences that could endanger passengers' lives on his ships. I have not yet received a response.